Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Laguna in Macarena. Oops. Good day, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Langrisser M News from the future. So, yep. And for the month of February 2025 to March 2025, this month's banner will be presenting you one female and one male, and on part one we'll be presenting the female characters, and as you guys have seen in the opening, she's none other than Macaera. So yep, it's supposed to be Macaera, not Macarena, but well, they sound similar. So alright, and on part of video we'll be featuring the male characters, Sham, S-H-E-M, but it reminds me of the game Shamu, but that's a story for another time. So alright, so the usual stuff. The video will be split into three sections. The first part will be showcasing a little bit of backgrounds, voice actor for the actress for the characters, voice pack. On part two, we'll be going through the skills, and last but not least, part three, talking about the battle capabilities and more in-depth pros and cons of the characters. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. So yep, again, before I carry on, a great thanks to mention shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app, Soyu. And if you guys find this recording to be a bit more appealing, I gotta say, yep, you might have guessed it, I get a new earpiece. Yep, earpiece for recording, not a wireless, from the Apple stores, the Type-C. So apparently I gotta say, give credits for this earpiece. The recording, it's much smoother. And alright, without further delay, let us go. So it has been such a great long time, a journey that so long we can almost not remember. Nah, just kidding. It's like a little bit of 6 years plus, and too long. After so much years of beat down and restrictions for the character's design, we are finally seeing more and more like from the other side that I'm almost going blind, because this is what we call the real Unyang. This is, so basically what you're looking at, this character is Macaera. So this is the younger sister, and the elder brother is Shim. And if you guys actually play through the Timeless Reef, spoiler or not so spoilers, they are the characters appearing at the last reef of the Langrisser Millennium WS, which is strongly hinted to be the assassins or the peoples who are responsible for the death of Mama Tiana. And this is a younger sister, Macaera, and she, looking at appearance, she is supposed to be, her job is supposed to be a dance maiden. So yep. And if you compare to the Langrisser 3.0 arc, Gay Pai's arc, the deserts, the queen of the desert country. So if you guys remember, the characters I'm talking about is Ashimere, and you can see Ashimere, compared to her, the dressing is much more conservative. But then again, they are at desert, you can't totally be almost that naked. You'll be dehydrated if you try to dress like her. So she's dressing as a traveling dance maiden, and that's why you can see the clothes are yep, definitely waifu gonna be. Yep. Oh gosh. So, okay, the person who voiced Macaera is none other than Miss Shizuka Ishigami. I'm, to be honest, not sure if she's married already or not, but as much as I can remember, it's a miss. So, well, let's skip the minor details. So, by Miss Shizuka Ishigami-san, who has voiced some notorious works in anime industry as a seiyuu. So on the left you're looking at is the female leading characters of the anime Shimoneta, and she's voicing as a character known as Ayame. I know this because I watched these shows. I greatly love it. There's a very anime with a lot of dirty jokes. And then on the right it's the Foot Soul anime. I didn't watch it, so she voiced as one of her leading characters too. So apologies, do not know too much on the Foot Soul series. Okay, then some background. Okay, some quick background of the characters is she is the surviving princess of a kingdom once that has been, well, a dead kingdom now. The kingdom is known as Beowulf Beast King Kingdom. So she's a princess. She used her characteristic is to be very, proactive, and she's a proactive and honest, vibrant, proactive and honest person. Like in the sense, she will say what things comes to her mouth. I guess that's what they describe. And however, in order to survive, she hid her true name and became a dancing maiden. And after years of drifting, she hid all her smile and beauty, everything under the eye. Only when facing towards her elder brother, then she will show him her truthful part. So yeah, this is a loose translations. Okay, relationship wise, okay, we only have Shion, the male leading. So okay, spoilers alert. If you guys don't want real spoilers, you can skip this. So okay, relationship with Shion. So ever since Tiana has been killed by the elder brother of Macaera, Shion stepped on the path of vengeance for the sake of his stepmom. And because of this vengefulness and grudge, for the sake of her brother's survival, Macaera can only use her life to beg for Shion's forgiveness and his benevolence in hopes for the survival of her brother Shen. So okay, that's the information. Okay, the one in question mark is apparently her elder brother Shem. So it's just a very like a mystery man puzzle, mystery man lit. So it's like a one full sentence. So he said he lost everything ever since his country has been lost after surrendering to the invaders, and he had witnessed and received a lot of insults through the life. And initially he has been numbed to all this feeling. However, upon reuniting with his younger sister, the flag of revenge has arise in his heart. So yep, that's like a one-liner, and there's a chibi art for Macaera. So right, before we go to part 2, this is the summon speech from her. Here we go.
私はマカエラ、ただの踊り子よ。信じられないの？あら、困ったわね。
Hey, really love this voice. Let's hear it again and let's go.
私はマカエラ、ただの踊り子よ。信じられないの？あら、困ったわね。
So, even being summoned as a heroine, it seems, I mean, based on the speech pattern, it seems like she is kind of still trying to, hide and conceal her true identity. So, right then, that's it for Macaera. Now we'll be going to our main dish. Faction buff, talent, exclusive skills, and 3C. Here we go, and definitely my waifu gonna be. Alright, and part 2. So before we carry on, just to check, just to let you guys know, please watch to the end, or well, if you want to just skip everything, feel free to forward to the end for the English translations. The name, of course, is loosely based. It may not be accurate, but the effects is definitely correct. So you can watch to the end or forward to the end for the translations I have done for you guys to check it out for the effect. So alright, this is part 2, and this is my waifu, gonna be Macaera, Macarena. So alright, she is from the following faction: Princess, Meteor, and Origin of Light. And I'll just be honest with you guys, if you're just asking if her battle capabilities, how strong it is in terms of PvE and PvP, the answer is nope, she's not strong. Yep. And stay tuned to find out more. Here we go. So her talent is loosely translated as Dancing Shadow of Hidden Edge. The effect are as follows. Number 1, increase attack and crit damage by 25%. Number 2, after using skills, cause a random terrain effect 1 block around the target area that do not have any unit around it. This effect is known as Concealing Edge. We will call it CE in short. CE has the following effect. First, if enemy move and enter at the target block, they will take a fixed damage based on the caster attack times 2. Second, this effect lasts for 2 turns. Number 3, at the end of the turn, you can release a skill, Hidden Edge Dancing Shadow. We'll call it HEDS in short. HEDS has the following effect. First, attack and deal 0.1 times AoE damage to the first enemies in the straight line direction you see. Second, steal a buff from the damaged enemy. Third, if the damage deal is crit damage, you will steal an additional buff. Fourth, apply buff to the first ally in range. the ally will receive increased crit rate and damage by 20% for 2 turns. So yep, if you guys find these abilities familiar or feel a sign of deja vu, don't worry, it is not deja vu, it is true, because this base, she's basically, well, at least in my own opinion, she is a refurbished or upgraded version of Langrisser 3.0, the third arc, sorry, not really 3.0, but the third arc, Gay Pies Heroes. He is the Dark Elf, Shion, who is working for the Secretary of Leonidas. Yep, did I remember his name right? Yep, so if you remember the other Shion, the first Shion that came out from Langrisser, he can throw this blade that cause a terrain effect, and his is higher terrain, and Macaera's talent is some sort similar. However, there's one upgrade version, is that when she ends turn, she can shoot out this AoE skills that deals 0.1 times damage to the first enemy that stands in the straight line directions. Then on top of it, she can get a steel buff, and if there is any allies standing in her straight line directions too, they'll receive a strengthening buff for her, so she can be a support and also an attacker. So it's not too bad based on her effect. Then now we'll move on to exclusive skill 1. Okay, exclusive skill 1 for Macaera is known as Silent Blades Kiss. Okay, it's a 2C skills, a CD of 2 turn, the range is 2 block, the AoE type is physical single target. The effect are as follow. Number 1, attack and deal 1.5 times damage to target enemy. Number 2, this battle ignore close combat penalty. Number 3, after using these skills, the next time you release your talent's AoE skills effect, it will become a 3 straight line AoE effect, and every first enemy on each straight line is treated as the first enemy. Sorry, so just to quick recap, sorry, so apparently it's a very straightforward, and this skills, if you're going to be playing Macaera, high chance you'll be needing to bring along the skills. It has become a staple skill. So 1.5, it deals, number 1, it deals 1.5 times damage to enemies. Number 2, this battle ignore close combat penalty. Then number 3, what makes it better is after using this single target skills, okay, the next time, so the moment after you use this skills to attack, then when you end turn and you release your talent's AoE, instead of being a 1 block straight line effect, it becomes a 3 block straight line AoE effect, and every enemy on each line is treated as the first enemy. So enemies standing on the 3 line directions, they will get the damage, they will have their buff stolen, and if crit happen, she will still double from each of them, meaning the max she can steal is 6 from all enemies. So this is definitely something is a staple, in my opinion. It will be a staple to bring along, and I like this kind of skill. It's pretty straightforward. So apparently she seems to be a single target character. Her AoE is based on the talent. Not too bad, something unique. Okay, she only have 2 exclusive skills. Exclusive skills 2 is translated as Dancing Phantom Posture. So it's a 1C skill, has a CD of 3 turns. The range is 7 blocks. The AoE type, again, it's treated as single target, as written here. Okay, the effect as follow. Number 1, use and teleport to an ally's CE 7 blocks in range. CE refers to the talent effect, so it's known as the Concealing Edge. Okay, 7 blocks in range. Number 2, obtain increased crit rate and damage by 20% for 2 turns. Number 3, after using these skills, you can attack again. So this is a act again skills for Macaera. However, as good as it seems or as it sounds like, apparently there's a downside to it. So number 1, you can use these skills and you can teleport to your allies your own Concealing Edge, which is the terrain blocks. However, there's a range limit. You have to be within 7 blocks range. Then second is straight up buff yourself, so you get to have increased crit rate and damage by 20% for 2 turns. And last but not least, you get to attack again. However, you do not get to move. So basically, after you use these skills, you teleport to your own terrains. You will just stay on the spot. If there happens to be no enemies in your attack range, you kind of wasted your chance. So, yep. So, alright, last but not least, the 3C before we move on talking about the pros and cons, etc. So, 3C, Snow Snatching Dance. Oh yeah. So, it's the skills with CD of 3 turns, the range is 2 blocks, the AoE type is physical single target again. This time around, it has both passive and active skills. Okay, we'll go through the passive skills first. Passive, number 1, when you initiate attack and goes into battle, if there is any allies Concealing Edge around you, you ignore guard for this attack. So there is any Concealing Edge 2 blocks around you, so in case I say wrongly, so it did say when you initiate attack and goes into battle, if there is Concealing Edge, allies Concealing Edge 2 blocks around you, this battle will ignore guard for this attack. This passive is definitely not bad. It does not require the Concealing Edge to be near the enemy. As long as it is 2 blocks distance around you, you get to ignore guard for this attack. So this is pretty cool. Okay, active skills are as follow. Number 1, attack and do 1.6 times damage to target enemy. Number 2, after battle, you can teleport to any allies Concealing Edge within 7 blocks range. Number 3, if there are no enemies, female heroine around the target enemy, the following will happen. In this battle, first, you will attack first for this battle. Second, you can teleport both you and the target to the chosen Concealing Edge terrain. Third, this effect is treated as position shifting effect. So that's all. She's pretty short and sweet. There's not too much gimmick around her. The only gimmick if you guys heard it, is at the first part, which is her talent. The skills are kind of like adding icing to the cake. And definitely there's some restrictions like her 3C. I mean, 1.6 times damage, not too bad. Second is after battle, you can teleport to your allies Concealing Edge within 7 block range. So this is depending on your luck. If you're lucky enough, you'll be teleported to an area far away from the grasp of enemies. If you're unlucky, the only available block you can teleport is, right beside the enemy. Then, last but not least, there is some strict requirements. That is, if there are no enemies, female heroine around the target enemy you are attacking, then you get to attack first, teleport both you and the target to the chosen terrain, your allies' terrain, and this will happen. So looking at the current meta, the current apex, not to mention the current apex, of course PvE wise situation depends, but looking at the current meta, well, the apex box is full of female heroine. Yep, for the past few banners, Zilong has been releasing very, 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 very strong female heroine, and this is probably one of the reasons why Macaera is considered weak. I mean, it would be great if it just says there is no more than 2 or 3 other allies standing around the enemy's unit, but no female heroine that it's... Oh, it depends on your band pick, and it depends on the luck, if I gotta say. So right, that's it for part 2. We are now going to part 3, where we'll be talking about the pros and cons. Here we go. Alright, we're at the last part. Before we carry on, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser Data Bank, 梦幻模拟站资料库. And here we go. So right, this is, let's see, so some of the things you guys want to know. Okay, the cool and okay about the bonds, so it's pretty cool. For the last 2 bond, all you need to do, okay, the defense bond, only for the defense bond, you'll need her elder brother Shem to unlock the defense bond, whereas the last bond, the attacking bond, all you need to do is make sure she is being changed to the class known as Winterlight Shadow Princess. So one of definitely sounds like an assassin class. So it's pretty cool that if you do not get to summon both, because at least for Macaera, we'll find out during Shem if that's the case, because especially if you're just a PvE player wise, defense bond might not be that important. Definitely attack bond is more important for your characters, unless your character is a tank that needs to convert defense or magic defense to strength. Alright, this is a casting or runes emblem items that you'll need. So as you can see, this is the bow and dagger items, and also other armors, light armors. So these are all the materials you'll need from level 1 to level 10. Okay, job class. So the first one is assassin. Oh, she also has a holy class. So the first class is loosely translated as Winterlight Shadow Princess, whereas the holy class is Phantom Dream Dancing Princess. So Kay is pretty unique. If I remember correctly, this is definitely the first heroine with totally 2 opposite class, because like assassin normally is related to like bad stuff like assassin and demons, but assassin and holy class, so this is really talking about the situation she's in, her double like spy or hidden life. On daytime she's a dancing maiden, at night she's just assassin. So okay, this is a stat. So attack wise both are the same. However, assassin class has lesser HP but more defense and more skills and lesser magic defense. Then under normal situations, I feel that I might go for the holy class. However, as of this current meta, you guys remember LLR Papa Vargas? Well, when Papa Vargas is around, no holy class are safe from his wrath. So assassin is still the best. Okay, the hard bond, the level 4 level 7 bond effect. So if you're going for assassin class, the level 4 bond provides the following. Number 1, when your unit HP is higher than 80%, crit rate your unit receive is reduced by 10%. So lesser chance for enemies to have crit chance against you. Then at level 7, when battling with unit with HP percentage that is lower than you, increase damage deal by 10%. So okay, this is for assassin. For the holy class, level 4, if unit have 5 buff or more, when going to battle, damage received reduced by 10%. Level 7, when unit HP is above 80%, battle damage deal increased by 10%. So yep. Okay, we'll be looking at the discussion on the pros and cons and how the talent works. Okay, it does comment that for Macaera's own crit rate abilities, she will kind of depend or relies on equipment and enchantment, and also depend on the skills, exclusive skill 2, dancing phantom posture, to further increase the crit rate by 20%, so she can pull out high crit rate. If not, she's almost useless without a crit, or if crits does not trigger. Okay, so the talent ability focus for Macaera is she can be used as support, single target, and AoE. And the moment she damage or attack enemies, if one blocks around the enemy, there is no other unit, you create a terrain concealing edge, and if the enemies move onto the terrain, they will take the fixed damage. So apparently there is synergy with her other skills. So the following is one of a clip. We can see how it works. So she even has mass strengthening, and you can see it's not just enemies but also allies too. So any empty blocks, one blocks around the unit, there will be this terrain effect. So it's pretty cool. You don't have to be at enemy spot. So any point of casting area, and any area that don't have enemy on it, it will occupy with a terrain. So it will, in a way, can slow down the pace of enemy advancing. Except for Papa Vargas, because he will turn, after transforming, he will turn off fixed damage to healing effects. Then things to take note is that this terrain is the lowest level of the terrain effect, so it cannot cover higher terrain or highest terrain effect. Then it can be overlapped or override by other terrains effects and abilities. So you guys can see one example is Licorice cast healing, and it can override her Macaera's talents effect. So this is some of the down points. Second down point is this terrain effect cannot appear in sky or wall or any area that you cannot travel to. So as you can see, so as long as Macaera is treated as a land unit, any place that she cannot travel to, the terrain cannot reach or cannot cover up. So you can see from this following clip, I guess this is why she is considered weak. So I guess we got to at least keep a copy or two of her and stay tuned for her exclusive items to further strengthen her. And more in-depth theory on how the terrain is being formed. The terrain will be first formed to location nearest to Macaera. And next is that okay, now I guess the pros part about her talent is every time she just enters any rank of Macaera, as long as she enters, she can release a straight line 0.1 AoE skills damage, and it will deal damage to the first enemies and will steal a buff from them. If crit rate happens, additional buff, so maximum 2 buff from one enemy. Then if there is allies in range, you will give buff to the allies. So this is how it works. So that's pretty cool. You can buff your allies and damage enemies at the same time, and this will happen every time you enter. There is no restrictions on how many times you can trigger this effect. So basically, if you, especially in PvE, if you have act against heroes where you can just keep mass act again, you can just get Macaera to act again. She can cast her skills, attack or support. Then at the end of a turn, she will shoot out this I don't know, spiral or dagger. There's this round I forget what this thing is called, but this assassin blade weapons, ring blade, and cause damage to the enemies. And each time you damage the enemy, you steal a buff from them. So that's cool. Okay, that's all. These are all the skills that she has. So the pros and cons about Macaera, it's pretty short. Okay, then talking about her 3C. Okay, if there is concealing edge 2 blocks around you, your allies concealing edge, you can ignore guard and battle. Okay, the usual stuff. So after battle, you can teleport to 7 blocks around your allies concealing edge. So this gives Macaera a surviving abilities or retreat abilities, but I personally I gotta say it's a bit luck based. So okay, now we'll be talking about, I guess it might be the downside. If the target enemies, there is 1 block around the target enemy, there is no other allies female heroine after using 3Cs to attack the enemy, and if the enemy still survive, you can teleport and this effect can be immune because this is a position shifting effect. So if enemies bringing Overlord badge, this effect cannot trigger. So the best way for Macaeras to survive is to bring the latest accessory item, the bell. Okay, this is how it works, so you guys can see. So you can get to choose. The only great thing is that you can get to choose where to teleport to. But then again, if these skills don't kill off the enemies, that's not a very great way. But again, I have an idea. The one way is to target against enemies tanker or guard unit. So a guard unit that has already end his or her turn, Macaera will attempt to go over, not to try to kill it, but to teleport the tanker away from the rest of the allies, so your team can go up and, you know, try to defeat the rest of the members. Okay, the rest of skills, not much descriptions. Okay, this is an accessory that we have been talking about. After using skills, going to attack and going to battle, if there is no allies one block around the enemies, after battle you can heal 15% of your max HP. Then you can choose to teleport to the positions at the start of a turn. Okay, so this is the bell we have been talking about, or the returners. So alright, we have come to the end, and this is the suggested item builds for Macaera. So this time round, at least this time round in this video, we have this new thing. If you guys look on the right, okay, the PvE and PvP battle rating you can see is very low, 2 stars. However, what you're looking at 5 stars is, well, it kind of as a joke, is the horniness level or the sexiness level is definitely 5 stars, because why not? Look at Macaera, look at this babe, this is my waifu. So even if she's weak, I'm gonna pull for her. Yep. If it comes to my respective regions, in the CN server, definitely will be saving my ticket for upcoming LLR heroes and other collabs. So right, these are weapons. So you can see Sting is extra magic bow. So on the left is PvE and on the right is PvP. So if you're going for PvP, definitely going for the assassin build. So this is coming. We have come to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe. See you guys on part of video featuring her elder brother Sham. Goodbye.